welcome back to Cooking with Ellie. I hope you've all had a wonderful new year. Today we're going to be making a cross of my two favourite desserts. I'm going to be making my favourite Indian dessert and my favourite Western dessert. Any guesses? For my Indian dessert, if you guessed a Gulab Jamun, you're right. And for my favourite Western dessert, if you guessed a Creme Brûlée, you're right. Today we're going to be making a Gulab Brûlée. Let's get started. So first we're going to start off by making the syrup for our Gulab Jamun. All you'll need for this is water, sugar and saffron soaked in milk. So first you are just going to pour in your water. And my cooker is on slow heat. And so now that we've added in our water, I'm going to add in my sugar. And I'm going to add in my saffron. Now I'm just going to keep on stirring this, and I will show you guys me doing the test to see if our sugar is ready, because when it is ready it should become a sticky liquid. So whilst we're waiting for our sugar syrup to crystallize, we are going to start to make the jamun. So in here we have milk powder, plain flour and baking powder, and we're just going to sift that into a large bowl. And so once that's done, I have about 8 tablespoons of warm milk, and you're going to use that to bind your dough. Now you don't want to add it in all at once because different flours absorb liquids at different measurements. So now that you've gotten your dough, you're just going to squeeze it in your palms until it turns into a sausage-like piece of dough. And then you're just going to put it in your palm and flatten it out, and you're just going to roll it. Now I've already rolled my piece of dough, and this is what it looks like. Now you want to make sure that there are no cracks. So now that my syrup is done, I'm just adding in my crushed cardamom powder, and I'm going to mix that in. And you want to make sure that you don't put all of it in the same place, or else it will get lumpy. On low heat, I have put my Gulab Jamuns in to fry, and you're going to keep on stirring them until they become golden brown. So now that my Gulab Jamuns have fried, I have just put them in my sugar syrup, and I'm going to leave them to soak for a couple of hours. Now let's go and do the brulee. So I have finished my Gulab Jamuns, and now we're going to move on to the creme brulee. So here I'm just warming up my cream, and you're going to make sure that simmers, not boils. I've also on my oven at 150 degrees. And over here, I have my egg yolks at room temperature. And to that, I'm going to be adding in my sugar and my vanilla extract. So now all you're going to do is you're going to mix it together slowly. So now we are going to gradually pour in the cream. Just going to mix that together. So now I'm going to be adding some crushed cardamom to my brulee, but this is completely optional. So it's time to prepare the ramekins. So what I'm going to be adding to my ramekin is 1.5 Gulab Jamuns into the bottom of my ramekin, and to that I'm going to be pouring in my brulee. Now you don't want to pour it all the way to the top, because at the end you're going to be putting sugar to burn. I'm just going to pop that in there. So I'm just going to put some water in the base of my ramekin, and then I'm going to put it in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. So my creme brulees have been cooking for about 35 minutes, and if you push a bit on your creme brulee, you can see they're firm but also soft. Now we are going to let them completely cool, but for the best results, leave them overnight. See you guys tomorrow. Remember the creme brulees from last night? Well, this is them now. Right now, I'm just going to be putting on sugar onto the top. If you don't have a blowtorch, you can just put them under the grill at the highest setting you have. The grill will have the same effect on the sugar like the blowtorch, but it might take a little bit longer. You also need to ask an adult to do this for you. So now that my sugar has been completely caramelized, we're just going to let it cool down before the crunch test. Now it's time for the crunch test. As you can hear, my sugar has hardened, which is quite good. Let's dig in. So far, it looks so good. So now it's time to try some of the Gulab Jamun. Here, as you can see, there's some of my Gulab Jamun. That's really soft.